Hello everyone! So another stream, and we're going to continue with AirfoilMaker. So I've been tinkering around with AirfoilMaker in the previous stream, but a little bit unguided. So I did a little bit of a study to get a bit more of a systematic approach to using AirfoilMaker and creating airfoils that are actually near perfect in case of our 172 SP. So I think I found a strategy to get there, and this is that strategy, copy pasted from my iPad. Let's attempt to create airfoils that mimic the actual airfoil of the 172 SP. And for that we always need some music. Let me see. So study interaction, airfoil, stall speeds. That's what I did. And today's slow flight. Yes. So we're going to follow this. Now, let me orient myself. Let me see. Yes. So one thing that I noticed in AirfoilMaker, this is AirfoilMaker, is the Reynolds number, and we've talked about that before, and I thought, well, it doesn't really matter that much. Also, Lemon or PlaneMaker and AirfoilMaker manual, I think, says that it doesn't matter that much for small GA aircraft, but I found a way to actually calculate the right Reynolds number. It's not that hard. I would suggest that we're going to calculate that stuff in order to get to a Reynolds number that really closely matches our cruising speed and stuff. And based off of that, we're gonna create a airfoil graph or diagram like this one that is actually resembling a 172 SP airfoil, the 2412 airfoil, because there are various websites that we can use actually to get to these graphs. Rather than just searching on Google, we can generate those plots at specialized websites. So I found a couple, so that's why. So that's the first thing that I have here. Let me see. Let me see. Calculate Reynolds number. Let me just get up all of these links. Not that many. Yeah. So here you can see a website, a Reynolds number calculator. What we need is velocity, the velocity that we are flying at, the chord width in meters, and the kinematic viscosity, which is a small number. So let's get those numbers. So we got the right Reynolds number that corresponds to our cruising speed. Now it might be that that Reynolds number range is actually quite small. So we're not really into a precise number. As you can see here, we only have this numeric input to work with. But let's see. I have no idea what kind of a Reynolds number we will get. So first off, we've built our optimized our prop, our propeller blades, and our aircraft's structural airframe based off of 110 knots true airspeed. So let's use that as our velocity. So I guess we're going to optimize our airfoil for our cruising speed. That's just a guess. That's just a particular Reynolds number or value where we will be flying most. And based off of that, we can put it in. We can also make a lower Reynolds number and a higher one if we'd like to. Also some Reynolds number for where we are flying in slow speed, or perhaps when we are going really fast, 140 knots or so. So X-Plane can become a little bit more precise. Don't know what the range will be. Perhaps it's so minor that we could just work with one Reynolds number. I don't know. 110 knots to this. That's the answer. Let's make that 50. Can we use decimals here? 56.59. Must be a number. Point. Yes. Chord width. That's a good one. Well, that averages, obviously, because if we look at our Cessna Skyhawk, we have different chord sizes. You can see here the top wing section here, the outer wing section actually gets smaller. So let's average that out, I guess. What we could do is... I mean, it's also getting thicker here, I think. Yeah, we're just gonna use that first wing section and get a number that's a bit smaller. Miscellaneous wings. For example, that one indeed, it's highlighting over here. And we have a root chord of 5.48 feet. So let's make that 5. So that we're a bit smaller, so we account a bit for this, which is not that precise. Perhaps should even be a bit smaller, but I don't know. Let's use 5. And we need to put that in meters. One. That's the chord width. Yeah, I think that's right. We'll have to see. 5 to 4. Yes. Meter, and that's 0.65 feet. Or this is still the previous setting, I guess. Yeah. And now we need the kinematic viscosity. All right. There is a table here. The ISA basic standard pressure atmospheric condition. And well, we now set it to degrees. What you can see here is the elevation in meters. Important. So let's go to feet. And we could pick our cruising speed. Our average cruising speed, which could be 5,000 here. Comes closest also to our performance tables. So let's use that one. And we can go up to kinematic viscosity, which is 1.646. To the mind, yeah. There it is. Double check. Yeah, as you can see also here at elevation of 0, we get 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That corresponds to 15 degrees Celsius, which is also ISO standard conditions at sea level. So now we've got the right numbers in. Calculate. Well, this is our Reynolds number. So that's 5 and a bit. In terms of meg. Where are we? Let's get away. Reynolds number. Yeah. So that's 5 million, 0.2. So let's set that number here, 5.2. 4. Okay. That's cruise. What we could do as well to get a low Reynolds number. See what the difference is. So for example, let's get a high speed one, 140 for example. So 100 knots to meters per second, that's 72. 02. Chord width is still the same, and kinematic, well, this is fast speed. Yeah, we can pick the same, I guess. Let's pick a higher altitude if we're going to go that fast. Let's pick 8,000 feet. So that's 1787. Calculate. 6. Okay. So that's kind of like the range. So new higher. And this is going to be 6. I guess the profile will have a minor change, but anyways. A change in comparison to the 5.24 Reynolds number 1. Yeah, and also a slower one. So let's go 70 knots to meter per second. 36.01. 36.01. Obviously, we're flying much lower than. Yeah, 16. Now let's just use the standard pressure here. Sea level, I mean. 1461. Calculates 3.7. So new lower. 3, 7, 5. There we go. So now we have 3 Reynolds numbers, kind of like a range, and X-Plane is going to interpolate between these, I guess. I don't know whether that is a significant difference between these 3. I mean, I guess not. But now we know where that Reynolds number is coming from, and we actually calculated it. So again, a little bit more control. That's something that I like. Okay. Yes. Next up. Interesting stuff. So now we got the Reynolds number, and again, the Reynolds number is a value that kind of indicates the particular strength or quality of the airflow that's hitting the wing, and that determines obviously the lift component and the drag and the moment. So let's remove that stuff. This also we also won't need. So next up, we got AirfoilTools.com. We've already visited this one when I was looking for a particular angle of incidences and stuff for the 2412 NECA airfoil. And I thought, well, this is not a very handy website, but actually for AirfoilMaker, it is. So you can select all kinds of dozens of airfoils. Well, we are using this one because this is the one also that we found in the manuals that the 172SP is using. Now, if we choose that, you can see here down familiar acronyms. You can see here that lift coefficient and drag coefficient also versus the alpha. That's the one that we need because this is also versus the alpha. This is the horizontal, is the alpha value. And what they do, if you look closely, you can see that same airfoil is displayed here for different Reynolds numbers. So that's cool. Let's change that range. Yeah, you got Encrypt. I don't know what Encrypt stands for. I do know that 9 is default. So you can see here there's Encrypt 9595. I'd like to know what that is actually. So let's have a quick search. Low and high. Why don't I see a Reynolds number of 5? Set Reynolds number and Encrypt range. Update plots. That's a bit weird. Why is there still just 1 million there and not 5? Set Reynolds number at anchor range. Perhaps these are the only ones then? So we're gonna pick the highest. Doesn't change. Okay, so we picked the highest one, so that's the Reynolds number 1 in our case, with our mag, 1 mag, and that is this one. And as you can see now, we get the climb, the lift coefficient here, so that's our green line, our drag, and our moment versus the angle of attack versus alpha. And that is something that we can try to imitate here with our AirfoilMaker. And as you can see, the degrees of alpha range from -20 to +20. That's also the case with our graph here. Well, -20 is something that you will probably never fly at, -20 alpha. So we're mostly interested in this range, I guess, +20. So you can see that also counts here for our graphs here. So I guess this piece that we are most concerned with, I think. So yes, there's only one thing though, is that it doesn't quite match our 5 Reynolds number. And that's a bit of a bummer. And I think it's also weird. Set Reynolds number range. No plots available. Yes, they're only there for 1,000, I guess. Or 1,000,000, I mean. Okay, so only for 1,000,000 then. Okay. So based off of that, we can try to model this data onto our AirfoilMaker. And again, we are working in our NECA 2412 roots. Yes, so that's fine. I was also thinking that for the tip, rather than using the 2412, you can also just use a symmetrical NECA, thick symmetrical NECA airfoil, where we would expect, because it's symmetrical, that at an angle of attack of 0. So that's here. This lift coefficient line would cross 0 here, because at 0 angle of attack, well, with a symmetrical wing, you won't generate any lift. But in any case, we can load that in as well. And we just have to see how it flies. So first off, lift. So let's pick a few points here that we can work with. For example, at a 0 angle of attack, 0 alpha, we would hit 0.25. I think that corresponds to what we've seen before in our previous stream. So 2.5, that matches quite closely. Yes, it goes through our horizontal axis at an alpha of -2.5. -2.5. We're at -2. Okay, so this should move up a bit. I think is that intercepts? No, I found a great website here, a blog post actually, of someone showing us the references for all of these different numbers here and what they actually do. That's really handy. Let me see. Intercept is from the y-axis. Linear range. No. Now I'm still puzzled with what I need to do. No, this was the other one. The slope, so a bit less. So now we're hitting 2.5, 1, 2.5, and now we should also still hit 2.5 here. Yes, so this is good. Again, this is not the slope that you want. You want it to be curved smoothly. At least according to the laminar manual. Okay-ish. Let me see. Well, that's pretty much it. What's the top? It's 1.55, 6 perhaps even. 1.6. So that's a bit less power. That's lift power, I think. No, it isn't. Maximum it is. So we can set that to 1.6. There we go. Now we can set, what is that? Is that linear? Yeah, it's linear range. We get a quite weird looking 1.6, that's correct. 2.5. 0.2.5. Yes. Perhaps we should change things up here. So this is the number. Well, that's the intercept still. 2.5. That's this intercept, I think. That's the intercept, yeah, of 0, as you can see here. Here's that line is here at 0. Angle of attack, yes. I think, am I saying this right? Well, let me see, that slope should be more like this. Doesn't seem right. We could also do it's perhaps a bit quicker. Don't say. I just like to have a little bit more chill. Yeah, so this is the wing route that we are now working with. Move away. 2412 popular. Copy paste. So we work with the default airfoil rather than trying to fix my already messed up airfoil. There we go. AirfoilMaker. Yeah, so we get all kinds of Reynolds numbers here that we don't like. But then I'm removing those. So this is the closest actually. Well, that's 2.5 as you can see. 2.5 and 2.5 and 1.6. This is very close. So let's make this. Yeah, we should make it like we made those, right? 3.75. We got a new higher one. 5. Yeah, but we don't have any data on that, obviously. Because if you look at this airfoil, we cannot go at any other kind of Reynolds number. Hey Zen, good to see you. Yeah, well, I'm getting to know AirfoilMaker much better, so that's good to see. Yeah, so we've got limited data here. We only have it for Reynolds of 1 meg and not any higher at this website, even though I can change stuff here. It doesn't update. And also here with details, I think I cannot change it. There are files that we can download for applications that we can use for all of this stuff. But I'm not really keen on installing those, and so I'd rather stick to this one. We can just see whether it works. Yeah, so the already existing graphs here correspond mostly to that 3.75 meg. Yeah, it's the exact same. It's hard. I think we cannot really... Let's just delete that, because I don't have those numbers. We only have... 4.24 and 3.75 and 6. 3.75 is for 70 knots. Let's use that one and see how well X-Plane works just with one Reynolds number. At least we know now what we have here in terms of the Reynolds, where it's coming from, so that's good. Okay, that's a good approach for now. So again, double check. This is the lift coefficient versus the alpha, so that's that curve, as you can see here. Double check. Alpha at 0 should hit here, and that's 0.25. So alpha is 0, 0.25. And minus 2.5, almost 2.5, should hit the value of 0. As you can see, 1, 2.5. Boom. That works just great. Then the drag. It's at an alpha of 0, or actually a bit more, it should hit 0.06. So this is 0. A little bit more. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At 5 it should hit around 0.08. Yeah, clearly exceeds. So the drag coefficient should go a bit lower. That I think is minimum here, perhaps. Let's see what happens. There it goes. Oh, right, that's an important one. I should first hit, that's a bit annoying. So in AirfoilMaker here, that scale changes based on whether you're working with a CL, so the lift, the drag, or the moment value. So now we have an entirely different scale. So again, at 5, 1, oh, no, let me see. Just look it up. 5 is over here. At 5, we have 0.7. Yeah. And at 0, we have 6. That's good. That's really good. And at 15, we hit 3. No. 15, we should hit 0.3. Yes. So it's not... Yeah, okay. So that's something that we can work on. Is that power? Well, it does look like it. Again, 15. Well, that's already pretty close. Again, 15 it is. Exactly 0.3. And here at 15, we also have 0.3 a bit before. So that's good. And still this is 06. And just for reference, minus 10 would be around 16. Minus 10. Minus 10. And that should be around 16. Okay, so that's not good. Yes, so I should perhaps not have touched the power. It's also this should be smaller. Let's peek. Width. There's apparently a width. Buck width. Bucket range width. Right. Gives it a little bit of a... Okay, and depth. Doesn't do anything. And power. That one doesn't do anything either. Yeah. Something like this then. Still 0.6-ish. Yeah, so it should go a bit up. Or I'm changing the wrong, yeah. That's just 0.6. But this is 0.06. Wait a minute. I'm not looking at it. Yeah, I am looking at it. Yeah, so 06, yes. 006, I should say. Yeah. And minus... so at 15, again, we should have 03. Plus 15. Oh, 3. And that is over here. Yes, so it should be a bit smaller. I could also say I'm not that interested in this part of the line because we're never going to fly there. Yeah, so it should be a tiny bit less. Three. 06, 3, and let's see, 20 goes up and up and up and up. This is 20, yes. So actually, it should be a little bit more like that, actually, and then wider. Can we do that? 15. Yeah. I forgot about those numbers. That's not handy. Like to move it a bit to the right. this is 6. I should not work with that. Again, 15. Yeah, but it should, yeah. Yeah, and again, you could also say the same thing here. When are we ever going to fly in this range? It's the stall, and that's it. We're concerned with this part. So at 5, it's 009. 5. It's 009. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's going up. Yeah, okay. So this is the power. This is the delta. So this is how steep it goes. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. You can see that now the center is a bit to the right here, like it is here as well, just a bit right from 0. But I'd like to make this a little bit bigger. Clearly, that's not something that I can do with these measures. Okay. If that's the case, then let's return. 15 should be 3. Yeah, so then, a little bit less power. 15. This one should be 6 wide, wasn't it? Yes, so it should be more up. There we go. Now this is minimum, it's a bit weird. I mean, this is just the minimum parasite drag of the airfoil. It probably occurs at an angle of that close to 0 degrees. Yeah, but why that is not corresponding to me? It should just be 0.6. And then we should compensate. This number is already close to 2, but you can tune it to fit actual data. Well, let's crank it up. 0.6. Again, yeah. Oh, that was the idea. Yeah, I know. Get it. Yeah, and this is now 15. That's much too high. Bucket width. Again, 15. Still too high. There it is. Am I looking at right? Yeah, that's 3. And this is 6. Yeah. Double check in between. And 10 should be, yeah, 16. 10 should be around 16. That's not bad. And 10 should be 16. There we go. That's good. And 5 should be, yeah. Oh, 8. 5. And that's 08. Perhaps we should give this a bit more of a curve like that. 08. 10, 16, 15. It's not close to 3. And 15 is now 3, but it should be a bit more. And a bit less. $15. 15. Good. And again, let's check the green one again is 0.6. That makes sense. And where does it come into 0.6? Actually, the top is at 16. Also important, by the way. So 17, 16 and a half or so. 16 and a half. That's this. Yeah. So it should actually be prolonged a bit more. Or prolonged, it should be actually moved a bit to the right. Yeah. Should also spread it a little bit more of a curve like that. Range. Oops. What did I just do? Oh, damn it. No, I changed it up completely. What did I do? No. Damn it. File, save, open, airfoils. Popular, open. 6 it should be. 6. Well, clearly I changed something else as well. Was it power? Oh What did I just change then? Was it my maximum alpha? Ah, that's the one I changed. Ah, good. Yeah, so 16 it is. I think. Or we can also pick... Yeah, that's the top. Yeah, 16 is 16 and a half. Maximum 16. Minimum alpha. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just make the curve look nice. Yes, so still it's 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. This is looking really good. Yeah, the only thing is then with the drag here that the curve should actually go much steeper up. But we're never going to fly at this high of an angle of attack, so that's fine. Moment versus alpha, and it also shows you the limitations of AirfoilMaker. I guess Rush was talking about other AirfoilMaker, more specialized software for that, super duper secret. Well, perhaps that's the reason why also. Perhaps we can also know, we're now visually trying to get this right, but perhaps we can also work with just data files that we can load in, import, and with that more specialized thing. But the approach here is correct, I think. So now moment, that's the last one. So at around, again, 16, that's stall speed, I guess. We see that top. Yeah, that's the same degrees, I think. 16, yes. That's the top, and then it goes down quite dramatically. And here it's also 16, as you can see, the downward one. So let's also make this 16. Yeah. What's that drop? Well, it's not that one. That's the... There it goes. Yeah, so that will be quite steep then. Because at around 20, it's going to hit around 02. So 20 is really at the far edge. It should hit 02, wish. So something like that. Again, we're never going to fly there. Okay. And you can see that before. What's that top? It should be... 06 again. 06. There we have it, 06. And yeah, then it's really decreasing here in terms of alpha until there at this corner. And again, we only have a linear here. It should actually be a little bit more like this, but we cannot work with that. So we're just gonna imagine a steady line from there to there, and it should hit minus 07 at minus 16, so at stall speed. That's minus 07, Tim. Yeah, so be precise here and look at the scales. 0.7 minus 0.7. There we are. 0.7. Yeah, and then it fluctuates a bit. And then it goes to 1. Yeah, so it should be much closer here to the yeah. So I'm not paying attention. Okay. That is this one. Yeah, so that should be 0.0. 0.007. So that's almost like, yeah. 0.07. There it is. 0.07. Yeah, and it still hits 2 there. That's good. And it hits minus 0.7. That's correct as well. Yeah, and then it goes up again, but it never goes plus. It actually goes to minus 35. 0.35. No, Tim, come on. 0.35. There it is. There it is. So we are mostly concerned with this range up to here, I guess, up to stall, and we did a great job. I think. Looking at the curve at different points. So that's perfect. Save. And we saved it as our root. Yes, perfect. Now we only have one Reynolds number, that's 3.75. While we are working with a Reynolds number of, what was it? 1. So why are we using this one then? Actually, why don't we just put in 1? Tim? Because X-Plane calculates the Reynolds number while we are flying. So we should just put in 1 because that's this current table. Yeah, that makes sense. Save. Good. Now what we can do is, I don't want to change anything of this actually. So let's close in. Let's go to Finder. And this tip file that we're going to use, let's use a symmetrical. I don't know what it will look like, to be honest. So this is a symmetrical wing. 0.30 is the thickest one that we have. How did I name those files? Yes, exactly. Tip. Yes, because we also have one for the strut actually. Yeah. Wait a minute. File open. Aircraft 172 airfoils. Our tip one. Let's just see what it is. So you can see, yeah, it has an entirely different shape, or not really entirely. Much more drag. Or am I saying that? Am I saying that right? No, I'm not saying that's right because again, I should just select something. This moment. No, I just want to see drag. I don't know the numbers from the top of my mind. It was 0.6, I think. Yeah, so it has more drag. This is the section. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. That's really thick. So no, I'm not pleased with this wing section actually. Yeah, thickness. That's also what we need to look at, by the way. And also this one. So what we're seeing here. Yeah, so let's do that first. Don't save that route one. What we are seeing here, again, this is the angle of attack from minus to plus 20 degree of angle of attack. This is to 180, which is insane. We're never going to look at that. And this is actually where we specify how big the wing is. So here we are actually looking at a wing that's infinitely long and what the curves look like. But here we can specify how big our wing actually is, which is important in terms of a ratio. And I think I've written that down as well. No hover to use for estimation at right and below. Let me see. Yeah, set wing in LD tab. Yes, RS is the square the wingspan and divide by the wing area. This is it. Okay. Well, that should not be that difficult. Let's get in notes. Reference manuals. P or information manual. There we are. Now, this is the wingspan. To square the wingspan. The wingspan is not just one wing, right? Because it's a bit weird that you should take the entire wingspan, this 36 feet, because obviously to me, I guess, that the cabin itself doesn't generate any lift. So this chunk should be removed out of that, I would say. It's the span of the actual wing, not just the wingspan. Wing area. That's exactly what we're looking at. So, I mean, that ratio is HAR is that area, no, wingspan squared and divided by 72 feet. Thanks for the follow, Robbie Roy Boy Troy. Thanks, welcome on the stream. Thank you for the follow. Yes. And yeah, that's the wingspan officially. And that should obviously be in, yeah, it's also already in feet. I think that's 36.083 squared. Let's double check. 36 feet, 1 inch, 2 feet. Yeah, what am I doing? 1 inch, 2 foot. 0838, exactly. Yeah, so just to double check, wingspan is from wingtip to wingtip, which is a bit weird to me. Oh, that's the only. Cessna 172 wingspan. 11 meters. Yes, 36. Yeah, wingspan is wingspan. Okay. So calculator. We would get 36. Oh. 36083 times 36083 divided by that's 174 square feet. 7.78. 7.48. There you go. What's that E? I don't know what the E was for. I think it's a reference. Reynolds number. You can look that up in the airfoil manual that I did find while I just Googled it. Last time I couldn't find the AirfoilMaker manual, and I was looking for it through the PlaneMaker manual, and I couldn't find it, but I should just Google it. AirfoilMaker manual. There it is. IR. Yeah, I just mean the words AR. Hello? No? Ratio then? There it is. Ratio. The system 182 has an aspect ratio of 7.3. Yeah, 7.48, then we're pretty close. The aspect ratio of a straight wing animation divided by the core. For any other shape, exactly. That's where I came up with that formula. Yes. But what's the E? Oh, here. IR for your plane and the efficiency factor E. Efficiency factor. To use LD estimation at right and below. All right, no information on that. That's a bummer. What was it called? Efficiency factor E. I have no idea. Oswald efficiency number. NECA. Airfoils. Okay, can we also find it here then? Reynolds number. Here you can also see the exact numbers, by the way. That was even better. We can look at those soon. E, no, E, that's another E. Yeah. I don't know. Efficiency factor. Aspect ratio 39. Yes. I don't know. General aviation between 5 and 9. Yeah, we're right to just work with that. Says on 172. 7.52. Well, we got 7.48. Awesome. It could be the SP could be a bit different than. Awesome. However, what's this? It would be great if this would be our number that we need to put in over here, but I'm not sure. We just a total guess. Taper ratio is that's the taper ratio. It's defined as the ratio between the tip chord to the root chord. Ah, this is an efficiency factor. Enter the aspect for your plane and the efficiency factor E. AirfoilMaker, perhaps someone on the forums. Needs flight model help. Also no induced drag. Blah blah blah. Reverse engineering, yeah. So perhaps just flying the thing and have a look. But I have no idea what this number or measure actually means. So I can just fly and tweak it, but we have no idea what we're actually doing. AirfoilMaker. Efficiency factor. E, it's the Oswald. Oswald, and let's also search for Skyhawk. Forums explain. The results are found in the file, where aspect ratio, taper, and the net twist washout are used to determine Oswald's efficiency. It's also used in determining the ratio of induced drag. Okay, well, if what's DI? Because if we have all the numbers, we can just calculate it through this formula. What is DI? What is this number? What does this stand for? The induced drag coefficients. Yeah. We don't have that number. Skyhawk 172. Then again, if you change this, everything changes. And so that's a bit weird. So now because I changed the aspect ratio, now this has changed as well? No, so this is the infinite wing. But this is weird then, because if this is the infinite wing and I'm correcting the airfoil shapes according to this screen, and this would be the actual wing, then now we would have a alpha of 19. Is this L versus drag? Versus the alpha. Wait a minute. LD. That's lift and drag, perhaps. Hey, Jim. Good to see you. Sorry, missed you there. Hope you're doing well. As well. Yes, I think that this graph, LD, so that's the lift coefficient, the drag coefficient versus alpha, is exactly what we're seeing here with this purple line. But how can this line exist if it doesn't have a E? So for example here at a alpha of 2.5, yeah, so that's the same for the, yeah, that makes sense. The thing goes down 0, yeah, you would see the same here as well. It goes through 0 at minus 2.5. And it shows its stop at 4.5. That's plus 4.5. Yeah, so it should be over here. Okay. I cannot change that at all. But that's a bit weird because, again, this chart is based off what kind of wing aspect ratio? None. We didn't set it. So I find it strange that this is again for an infinite wing, perhaps. Hey, Skype, good to see you as well. Thank you guys for dropping in. I'm just gonna keep it as it is. We're gonna save. This section is fine. Airfoil thickness is 12%. And Mac doesn't. We have nothing to do with supersonic flight with our Skyhawk. We optimized for this part, so that's good. Again, 15 should be 3. Yes, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, good. Then open up the tip file. Again, this was symmetrical. Yeah, we used the thick one, which was a bit ridiculous. How can we work with that? Well, let's just open a less thick. So not the 30, but the 12. Open. Again, at 0, it's 0. At 0, it's 0. Just lift. What does it look like? Yeah, this is better. Let's use this one. Airfoil thickness. Yes. Okay. So we remove this one from there. Let's get the NECA. 6 was it, right? Or 12? We had 12. Symmetrical. There it is. Copy paste. Just renaming those so we know that it's ours. Tip. Okay. And let's move it in. Good. And nothing there. Let's remove it. Let's go to PlaneMaker. Be advised, we could not find anything. Let's double check. Airfoils. Wings. Yeah, so here it goes. What are we looking at again? Miscellaneous wing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 is the root, yes. So this one should be root as well. Roots. This one should start at the root as well. Again, double check. That's this one, right? Yeah. And then this one should go to our tip. This is again roots, also roots, and this one should be tip. So what we did right now is we got our wings here, wing sections. So we got 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We got miscellaneous wing 1. That's just the root thing. So this has the exact same chords along its way because it's almost symmetrical. So that's what we did. And also for wing 2 here, you can see that there's a shift. We know that there's a washout here, a wing twist from that same root, same airfoil, but then to something more symmetrical, according to the service manual and all the other manuals that we are reading. So that's what we're doing here. So now, if I'm right, PlaneMaker or X-Plane is going to interpolate this airfoil over all of these stations up to the wingtip using that symmetrical one. And the same goes for the other side of the aircraft, same thing. Now the only thing that we could even be more sophisticated by assigning different airfoils to different Reynolds numbers. We don't have any information on that in terms of plots and stuff. So this is the best that we can do, I think. So, save. Let's have a look. What's also very important that I didn't do yesterday, our weight. The totally forgot about that. If we look at the manual, so I was checking the stall speed, right? But I was checking it with just some random weight and balance and fuel stuff, but all of the stall speeds are actually based off of a particular payload, 2550 maximum load. Speed. And there's actually a better page even. 160 something. Here it is. This page we need. So, flaps up 10 and 30. Rearward center of gravity, forward centered. I also have one center of center actually. That's interesting. This is the information manual. Ah, there it is. Most rearward forward. No, it's the exact same thing. It's actually a bit more sharp. Okay. So 2550. Yeah. Hello. Well, the pound max weight, I think that's fine. I hope. Center of gravity is just 0, and these are most rearward, most forward. And yeah, so that's also something that we need to do. So this is most... Yeah, what is it actually? What's what? I'm not quite sure. And also, 27 inches is quite a distance. I thought that from our previous stream we learned that it should actually be... It's only 30 centimeters or so where it can change. So perhaps this slider is a little bit too exaggerated here, too free. Let's just stick at 0 now, so center of gravity, and see what it does. Done. And start flying. So we now got proper airfoils. We've got a proper airframe. So far, I think also a good engine performance. So now we got a decent test. Also important, difference between indicated airspeed and calibrated airspeed. So this calibrates for measurement error by the pitot tube and mechanics and all kinds of stuff. I think we cannot bring up calibrated airspeed. Well, we can, and this is even a more calibrated airspeed, but it's very close to calibrated airspeed. So I think this is the one that we can use. True airspeed, something else. Yeah. So let's turn on our battery generator, mixture in, start her up. Map. Let's go to 5,000 feet or so. There we go. All right. Let's trim. Yeah. Bit more. Okay. Speed is obviously decreasing. Mixture. Or throttle back, if I can. Why is my RPM still 1,000? I guess because we're going 80. It does surprise me a bit, actually. Also we're slowing down not that quick. Or to say even very, very slow. Okay, is my throttle aft? Yes, it is. So clearly, in terms of drag, we did something wrong. Or is it just my engine? Did we change anything? I'm not sure. We already have a stall warning. We're at an alpha of 9. Oh, there goes the RPM. Back to 900, but still it's a bit weird this. Hey, B, Fitzy. Yeah, it's going well. It's going well, and I'm learning a lot actually about stalls and Skyhawk. Whoa, there we go. Okay. Now, that was not bottom of the green arc, but let's have a look at the calibrated airspeed over there. So let's do it again. And again, flaps up, no bank, 53. No, 56. Okay. And my angle of attack, what was it? Yeah, but we're not really idle RPM. There's something wrong with our... Are we still in the starter switch? No. Why is my RPM still so high? We are calibrated, right? Yes. If we go full power, what do we get? 25, 82, that looks good. Did we change anything with the engine? I don't think so. Alright, let's try it in a more extreme way. Here's your idle. Almost idle. Now look at how slow we slow down. So in terms of drag, $56, $55, yeah, 55, 56-ish. We experience a stall, but this is with rear. Or forwards. Flaps up 53. Are you planning to continue your IFR training soon? Yes, I am absolutely planning to continue my IFR training. Whether I'm going to do it soon, I don't know. I have to, because otherwise my skills, I guess, skill level just seeps away. And also I cannot wait to fly again. I'm just so focused on finishing. I would rather just finish this this testing phase. So this yellow bit of my progress bar here. So we know that we can then move on to Blender. So I finished something, because otherwise the switching becomes a little bit more tedious, I guess. So that might be an aim. And it wouldn't take that much time, I guess, to finish this testing. Anyways, calibrated airspeed 53, and this is with idle. We're already stalling at 56. And based off of what load? I mean, that was 53. I can imagine that will fly. Let's just see what happens. There we go. This is gonna be weird. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm now giving full full aft yoke. Yeah, this is horrible. I think this is unrealistic. This is not what they mean with most. Can we set limits for the center of gravity? This is weird. So my engine, why is my engine weird? It also should be an idle. That's also still a significant difference there. Whoa. All right, calibrated 60, 58, 56, stall, 55, 54, 54. Also, it's quite a steep angle, my gosh. Or isn't it actually? Again, my viewpoint here with the 2D cockpit might perhaps be quite off. So I don't see anything, and I think, well, that's a bit weird. Or should it be 50? What am I looking at? Sorry. Yeah, 53. Yeah. So there you can see the symmetrical airfoil. So what we can do is let's set the no. Let's set it not too symmetrical, those wing tips. And let's see what happens. Airfoils, just the ordinary wing roots, which is a bit weird. We should actually use the root that we already have. This one, roots, because we optimized it, right? Roots. Okay. Saved and reload. Let's see what it does. Again, RPM to idle. Still a bit weird that we are at 900 RPM. 60, 50, we're not at total max weight. 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, yeah, 51. Okay. Customize weight and balance. Full. Whoa. Well, fine by me. Done. Apply. So again, we're looking for 53. This is with flaps up, right? Yeah. $62, $61, $60, $59, $58, $57, $56, $56. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, Jimbo, it is a pretty nasty stall. We are off. We should stall But this is most rearward center of gravity, so this is not correct. I should get this stall speed 53, which is still the same. 53 power idle. Yeah. So we know that this curve is right. So let's open our own airfoil. This root one. Boom. This is according to the numbers. Jim, when you get on 3D model, do you have to create that from scratch using Blender or something? I love how you can see from the flight model reacts within numbers. It's fascinating. It is, Jim. I totally agree. It's addictive also. Yes, with 3D modeling, we need to work from scratch. I thought that we could export our 3D model from PlaneMaker to Blender, and it can be done, but via all kinds of other applications. Rather, I'm just going to make it from scratch with Blender, because also that's going to be a lot more easy actually. There's so much more shortcuts and just strategies to make different shapes, and it's just awesome. So I'm going to make that myself from scratch. I still need to look and also test. I guess I'm going to stream that as well, just before I'm actually going to make the thing, to make sure that it actually is compatible. So just adding an object and then reloaded it back into PlaneMaker in an X-Plane to see if we actually can add something through Blender and see the next plane. Perhaps I'm even already going to animate something, just some random animation related to some data ref, so I know that the principle works, because I would like to prevent the scenario where I'm spending a couple of months making my Skyhawk and then noticing that I set the dimensions wrong, or the wrong metrics. I was making it in feet while it should actually be in meters, or I don't know what can happen, but I'd like to be sure that we are starting with a reliable Blender, I guess. So that's going to be the first thing. I get the addictiveness, exactly. However, that addictiveness also has a bit of a frustration to it, because obviously we are not getting the right we're not getting the right speeds and stuff. And what I do love about our approach so far is that we put in all the as much objective numbers as we could find, and we were already warned by others that obviously X-Plane is not a perfect simulator. So even though we got the objective numbers, it would not subjectively fly. Well, or objectively fly. We should. It's not that surprising that we don't hit the right stall speeds. So what I would rather do is, just before we're gonna move away from those objective numbers in terms of wing airfoils and stuff, I'd rather just stick, I mean, we have all the time in the world, stick to what we know should be okay, or that we found some references for. And try to change stuff that we know we are not sure about. To get those stall speeds right. So for example, the chord of the wings, all this, so we just made it very, very precisely it corresponds to the sketches that we found. The angle of incidences we calculated. Everything that you see here is based off numbers, which is great. It's even more precise, more complete than Laminar 172 and the Airfoil Labs 170, based on the numbers. However, you could say, well, the ultimate goal is that it flies like a Skyhawk. So even though we can be proud on the fact that we found those references, they don't mean anything, I guess, if we cannot fly the Skyhawk by the book in X-Plane. So that's a bit of an issue here. So, yeah. I did a 3D model of a car in Blender and I modeled every panel separately, put it together. Obviously not what you want to do in Slide. No, but that's cool, Jim. Because of the poly count, I was just using it for rendering and fun, but like building the glue models, you can on the computer screen, doing a brilliant job. But shut up now so you can concentrate. I don't mind, Jim. I don't mind. Yeah, I have to call it a day. So, just to wrap up, what do we have? What we made so far is a model that matches the actual structural sketches of the Skyhawk 172 SP. What we also did, I should actually lower that inner piece there. Let's do that right away before I forget. Wings. Is that black version? Yeah. Boom. Yes. What we also did, which was pretty nice, I think, is that we found out that the bottom part here of the vertical stabilizer should have a little bit more of a twist, which is actually, incidentally, the rudder tab, trim tab, or thing that we can, that is actually set in the real world as well, so that we countered the slip tendency of our Skyhawk. Yes. And what we did is we changed the airfoil. Also now as symmetrical at the tip here, which we know should be true. And the root as well is good. The prop and all the electrical systems are good. So, given that stuff, those crucial fundamental components seem to be based off of the numbers, before I bash X-Plane or X-Plane's flight model, let's just first search for any other variables that we could perhaps change to get that stall speed right. Perhaps you overlooked something. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's true, Jim. That's true. Yeah, but it's not that obvious where we should look at. I mean, in terms of the drag, that we're not slowing down that quickly once we are flying. I mean, for example, one variable that we made up was the drag coefficients of the fuselage. So what we could do is increase that so that the airplane... I mean, we know that the drag of the airfoil corresponds. So that is a variable that remains in terms of drag. Significant drag that we can change. There's also another airfoil, by the way, and that's the propeller. But that was based on the angle of incidences with the angle of attack exercise a while ago, so I believe that that's fine as well. Any dihedrals and stuff we also checked. There's not a lot left that we can play with actually to get those. I remember Rush was saying that for decreasing the stall speed that we should do based off our tests just a few minutes ago, that we should increase the chord side of the wing, because the more surface we have, the slower we can go. At the same time, we have an increased drag coefficient. But while that might be a solution and we can play around with it, we venture away from the actual model. And you could say, well, who cares? Because eventually we're going to make our own visual model of the Skyhawk, which we're going to append upon or stick on top or replace for this model. So this will not be the actual model that we're going to see. This is only the model that X-Plane is seeing. So who cares that that's actually what AirfoilMaker what Airfoil Labs has done as well. They even put slats at the leading edge here of the wings for some reason to make it fly more realistically in the sim. While we don't see those slats in their airplane model, they did model it. I don't want to. I want to believe in X-Plane, but I guess I should just wake up. This is actually pretty cool. Symmetrical. So, yeah, I need to think about how we can do this. And guys, if you got any suggestions for me on what to work on, let me know. There's also one other variable. We got a Reynolds number, which is indeed based on our diagrams that we're using. So this is what we see on the side. Yeah, that's good stuff. The only thing that we didn't set is this E, this efficiency factor. And as you can see, it does change stuff. So for example, and I don't get what's going on here, because you can see, for example, that the stall changes, right? The moment of stall, or the angle of attack associated with that stall. And here it's at 19 alpha, 19 and a half, given the aspect ratio of the wing. But if we go to the infinite wing view, it is at 16, like we set it to be. So could we just change this number? So that it fits what we are doing? What we like to see? What about antennas? Yeah. No, that's just drag, Jim. It should really have to do with lifts. And I'm also clearly noticing that we have less drag while we are flying. So we're slowing down less quickly than usual. So that could also explain, I mean, we could just have a look. So, drag, bloop, bloop, drag. Yeah, 006. So this is usually the angle of attack that we are flying at, I guess, when we're level. Yes, Pretzel, I don't know why you're doing that. 06. If we load up, yeah, let's save it. The default, not this one, but that one. We got multiple Reynolds numbers. You can see that most of those actually also match that 06 here, if you can see. So these more opaque lines are the lines referenced to these tabs here. So apparently when we go down in that Reynolds number, drag increases, lift goes down, which would make sense. I mean, the Reynolds number has to do with the quality of the air that's hitting the wing in terms of velocity and viscosity and stuff. So you would expect that that would change. Moment doesn't change at all. But you can see it's the same angle of attack. It doesn't matter how fast you're going. The angle of attack is associated with, or the stall is associated with angle of attack, not with speed. That's what this stuff is showing, apparently. So, last thing, and then we're going to quit the stream. Let's just double check. PlaneMaker. Let's assign the default airfoils, miscellaneous wings. So not the root one, but the original one. Boom. Boom. I mean, I love the fact that we could just made our own airfoil based off of actual references. I'd rather not just use this shipped airfoil because we don't know where it's coming from, and apparently it is there. Save. Reload current aircrafts. Let's go up again, 5,000. On pause. And I also get that engine. Weird engine thing. 1100 RPM. Now look at that speed. It's also going down quite slowly. So it has nothing to do with the airfoil. 55, 54, 53, 52, 51. And what are our weights? What are our weights? They are... Yeah. Hello. Hello. That generates a problem that we're now a little bit overweight, but again, look how slow we slow down. $57. 57 already. Boom. 57 already. That's quite high. So we're doing actually better. Now I'm curious to see how the default 172 just does. And then I'm going to quit the stream. Yes, are we there yet? Or have we just crashed? I guess. Hello? Stream is still on? Yeah. This is a bit weird. View internal. Forward 3D panel. Yeah, we can go up. Why is my yoke not moving? What's going on here? $18,000 feet. That's a bit high. No worries, Jim. Thank you for dropping by. Have a great day, great evening. Okay. RPM to idle. Still also high RPM. Look at the speed go. Slow. Okay, that's not too bad. It goes so slow. Apparently I'm not used to that. 56, 55, 54, 53, 51, 49. This is ridiculous. It doesn't stall. Okay. It is synced, right? Isn't it? And 60. Yeah, it is synced. Okay, so the default 172 doesn't even... There it goes. It looks like it's... That was actually not that bad. Again. Slowing down. 53. $49. And with flaps down. We don't even stall. There's no wing drop there. Yeah, so the full 172 also is not perfect. And in terms of drag, so if I now go idle, it surprises me how slow we slow down. I guess because we're still descending. That's why. Boom. Yeah, it corresponds with the green arc. You can say that. And that's around 48. Which is a bit weird, actually. 48. It should be 53. This is an SP, right? So the attitude or the airspeed indicator is even incorrect. That's interesting. Let's double check with ours. Even though it's a 2D panel. And then I'm gonna quit. Yeah, this one is it correct? It's hard to see actually how these numbers are projected. This is 40, so I guess this is 50. Ours is also 48. Stall speeds with flaps deployed is 40. This is speed with the flaps retracted. Why is it 48? This is Calibrated airspeed. Where do we get these speeds from? Right here. Recognize these. Yeah, wide arc, green arc, 48. That's weird. Okay, I need to look into that. Apparently it's 48, but here in the menu with the calibrated airspeed it says... So if it's indicated then, let's look at indicated. Yeah, whoa. Mixture full rich. Battery, generator. Overspeed. There goes our drag. Look at that. Okay. Look at our indicated airspeed, 65. Let's see if we're gonna hit 48. Doesn't feel like it at all. 57, 56. I'm gonna drop much sooner. 54. 53, it already went. For 53, 54. Whoa. But again, this is with the default 2412. Yeah, 53. Indicated airspeed is 53. One more time, I cannot help myself. Experts, airfoils, aircraft, 172 airfoils, routes. It's time, yeah. Thanks for that follow. Click to play. Thanks. Really appreciate you guys just jumping in even when there's no flying, but just experimentation, study, academic thinking. That you guys, that some of you at least, appreciate such content here at Twitch. Alright, save. And this is the last run. Boom. Reload our aircraft, yes. Idle. Again, indicated airspeed. What's our stall? 64, 3, 2, 1, 0, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Why are we... That's quite a different different performance than we had when we did the exact same test a while ago. Yeah, nose up. 53. $52-ish. Spin, almost a spin. Man, that's much better behavior than with the default 172, by the way, in terms of drop. Okay, so it could be because the reload the current aircraft is a weird feature and it messes things up, and perhaps even root. Then I also like to see the tip, the symmetrical tip once more. Save. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's double check it. Again, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. I guess that speed is just about right. $58, $57, $55, $54, $53, $52, $51, $50, $50. That's 50. Let's just do it one more time so we know it wasn't a fluke. Calibrated airspeed. And indicated it was. So speed, 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 speed. $49 and $42. It's actually pretty close. Look at that. Whoa. All right. No, that's not what I wanted to do. And up. Not 37. Whoa, we can also go in space. That's cool. Well, let's end the stream with that then. There we go. Our engine is not on. There we go. There goes the speeds. See if we still hit the same numbers. I haven't changed anything in PlaneMaker, but just to check. Okay, we should stall around 50. Indicated, then around 53. 50. 59. 50. 48. Look at that. Okay, the reload current aircraft feature is bugged. This is right, isn't it? Flaps on. One more time. I'm gonna rewatch this video as soon as I exported it to YouTube. 48. Look at this. Now the speed is different. Same airplane. 49. There's 48. By the book. With our nice symmetrical wingtips and everything. Okay, that's really, really interesting. I'm gonna rewatch that video after the stream. Guys, let's quit this thing. Save, remove, remove, remove. Next up, we're gonna pick up on this list still. So we need to further check whether our stall speeds are correct. It's not consistent just yet. And then we're going to look at flaps as well, to look at those lift and drag and moment kind of thingies. So that's going to be interesting. And we're going to move on until we finished the whole flight testing phase, and then we can finally move on to Blender and do some proper 3D modeling. And I cannot wait to start with that. This weekend there will be no streams. There's a family trip here that I'm really looking forward to. So I will be away. So my next stream is going to be at a Monday or Tuesday or something like that. So I'm hoping that you guys will jump on board, encourage me, cheer me on, or ask questions, or just say hi. As always, that's much appreciated. Until then, happy flights and blue skies.